What's going on, everybody? Brian Ciano here with you, and I'm coming at you with another Giants screw up. Because this week, the New York Giants fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, I'm not saying that firing him is wrong, because obviously they started 2-8 for the third year in a row. Four blown double-digit leads this year, two of those with less than 4 minutes in the fourth quarter. So obviously, he was not suited to be a head coach. He was a good offensive coordinator, just at this point in his career does not seem to be able to hold the reins and hold the title as the man in charge and the head coach of the New York Football Giants. I get that. Problem is the timing for me. Now, first of all, allegedly this was going to happen earlier. After they blew that huge lead in Denver, on the way home, the Giants brass wanted to fire him once they landed in New York. And then apparently in a couple hours in the plane, cooler heads prevailed. They let it continue, decided it wasn't the right time. But after they blow another lead in Chicago, they decide, not doing it again. He's gone. Here's the problem for me. The only way this works out, as far as coaching-wise, is if his interim replacement, Mike Kafka, is the guy that you're going to eventually hire as the coach. If you don't hire him as head coach, then it was just wrong timing because you have a rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart who's looking great and who was actually pushed for by Daboll and who is doing a good job connecting with his coach, has a good relationship with his coach. The offense is putting up points. And now, halfway through his rookie season, you're getting rid of that coach already and giving him a new guy in charge. That can screw up a quarterback pretty well. We've seen many of these quarterbacks, high picks, come in there, starting a team, and then all of a sudden, the coach is gone the next year or the year after, and they get three coaches or three coordinators in 3 years, and they just don't work out until they get somewhere that's more stable. So maybe you should have let him go the rest of the season, let him continue to develop this guy his way at this point until you get to the end and then get rid of him. Because any other coaches besides Kafka, you're not going to be able to talk to, look at, try to get in there before the season's done anyway. So it's not like you're getting a jump on everybody else in getting your head coaching search started. So if Kafka's your guy, works out. Otherwise, you might have messed up Jackson Dart a little bit as he starts his career in the NFL. But that's not the biggest mistake. The timing of the firing wasn't the biggest mistake. It's that you're keeping the guy that's with him, Joe Schoen, the GM who came in with him from Buffalo. I don't get it. This guy has been looking like a clown every time we have a camera on him. Of course, we saw him on Hard Knocks with the Saquon Barkley free agency, the call that made him, trying to sound like he was cool, trying to sound like he was buddy, and just look like an idiot. And this guy goes to your rivals in the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw him on camera with his kids talking about the draft, and Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback. His kids telling him, he's like, he's not going to be there. He's like, trade up. Doesn't do it, doesn't pull the trigger, ends up going a different way. This year, the draft, you basically see him hemming and hawing about whether to trade up for Jackson Dart. And it was Daboll had to push him and be like, go get this guy. I like him. Let's get him. We need a quarterback. So every time he's on camera, he looks like a buffoon. When he had a quarterback before in Daniel Jones, who wasn't that great, but they had that run, got their first playoff win. Daboll wins coach of the year. They decided, all right, let's give this guy money, which was a colossal mistake. Instead of giving Barkley the money, let Barkley go in free agency. Now he's had some pieces that have worked out well for them. He's got a great job with the pass rush. Abdul Carter is looking good. Brian Burns has been a good trade for them. And Malik Neighbors was a great pick. But they have never shored up that O-line. It's never been a great O-line, and they have never shored up that secondary. The O-line and the secondary have not been able to stop anybody during their tenure, which has been a giant problem for the Giants for a long time, no pun intended. So two of the biggest issues for this team have never been addressed by this guy, and he has been part of this team going 2-8 the last 3 years. So while all blame seems to be going on Daboll, seems like they're going to keep Joe Schoen and let him pick the next coach. That never works out well. Well, you give him another year or two and they still stink, and you give the coach another chance, but get rid of him? They came in together, get rid of them together. This guy's been over his skis the entire time as GM, and that was a giant mistake by the New York Giants.